Hello and happy Thursday, everybody. Thursday evening, I'm coming at this a little bit late again tonight. This is the fourth night for the week for the Regal Winter suite that I've been using this week. For this for this night, I just made a very simple card, really. It does include embossing folder and dies, but other than that, it's just paper and a little bit of stamping to put together. I did leave the inside blank. I have on the front "Missing You." Um, there are some friends that I haven't gotten to chat with some recently, so I thought this would be a great card to send to them to let them know I'm thinking about them. And that way I can write a little bit of a note. This card is really easy, so let's get started with it. Again, I'll be using the Regal Floral. For this card, I'm using the Spotlight on Nature dies. I'm using this second largest one for the white, and I used this third one for to cut out the DSP. For the beautiful embossing on the card, I used the Distress Tile 3D embossing folder. This is one of my favorite embossing folders. I like that distressed look, and it adds a lot to it. And for the sentiment on the front, I used this die from the Changing Leaves dies. So I went ahead and cut everything out. For the card base, I am actually using the basic white thick cardstock. It's just a little bit heavier, so it's a good card base to use. And then I will attach the distressed. The distressed is on just the basic white regular cardstock. And so I distressed that. And then I just kind of cut 3 strips of DSP in, I made them they're all 3 inches wide there, but I just kind of grabbed some that, like this one is a good 2.5, and then these two turned out to be about 1.5 inches each. So, but it was just scraps that I had. And then with these, I just placed them on here, just kind of haphazardly, kind of center them. And then I'll be putting the die cut shapes on top, and then the sentiment. So really an easy card with scraps, because I had a scrap that this die is about 3 inches square, and I had a scrap that was 3 inches square. So this card is kind of made from scraps in a way. I will be using another piece of scrap to line the envelope, the outer bit of the envelope. This is just a great way to use up some scraps, really. So let's go ahead and get started on putting this card together. Again, we're going to attach like I said, I love that. I like how the light catches that embossing. I really do like that distressed look. So we will go ahead, I'm just going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Seal to attach it to the base. I like to go all the way around the edges. And then just kind of a little bit in the middle, just to get a good solid adhere to it. There, just put it on the front, and I like to then just kind of rub the inside. So there we go. Then I'll take these pieces, and like I said, I just kind of, doesn't really matter how you put them on there. This card I used the pretty peacock backgrounds, but this one I had some scraps left over in more of the Blackberry Bliss backgrounds. So like I said, I just kind of place them on there, kind of willy-nilly. And the cardstock, the DSP there, the DSP has 2 different floral patterns, and they're really, really pretty. One of them has more of the red flowers, and one of them has more of the blackberry bliss flowers, and I found that really interesting. I mean, it's kind of the same, they look like the same pattern, but if you know, this one has more of the cherry cobbler color flowers, and this one, the flowers are the blackberry bliss. So I like that. I love the pattern. I love the beautiful artwork, and I love that it comes in the two different colors. So, so that way I could match it with other DSP from that pack. So we'll go ahead and I will just use the Stampin' Seal to attach these as well. Get that going again. Kind of get it on all the edges. So, and for this one, I just put it about there. Okay. Don't know how the weather is in your area. Our weather, even though we're September 12th, we're pretty warm during the day, and we are still in a fire watch. So we've had a lot of fires around the Casper area, which is very sad. It's just so warm, and it's really not feeling like fall too much here. I'm hoping that we start getting some cooler weather. I'd really would really like it if we'd get some rain. I mean, we've gotten spotty rain, but not a good downpour, which I really wish that we would get. So hopefully soon. Okay, and then I'll just put that one about there. And for this one, I'm going to use the dimensionals to pop it up there. Actually, before I do that, I am going to attach this piece to the center. Sorry about that. And also, school has started here. We're, I think, 4 weeks for the college and like 3 weeks for the younger kids. So it's been kind of crazy. No, my grandkids are. It's starting to to sink in now that it's school, and so some mornings they get up, they don't want to go, and other mornings it's like they want to go and be with their friends. So okay, and then we will use the pop dots. But I think it's because it doesn't really feel like school weather, maybe, since it's not as cool. We're getting the wind, so maybe that means we'll start getting some more of the cooler weather, blowing in the cooler weather. I don't know if you noticed that I did post about the paper pumpkin special, that if you do a month-to-month subscription right now, you can get 40% off your first month subscription. I believe the code is holiday40. I'll look it up again just to be sure. But that's a great way to introduce yourself to Paper Pumpkin. I enjoy my subscription for Paper Pumpkin. It since it comes with everything in the kit, I really do like that. Okay, for the sentiment, like I said, I'm going to be using the Missing You from the Regal Flora. And I, sadly, do not have the Blackberry Bliss ink pad. So I'm going to be using Gorgeous Grape, which is still a purple, and it'll still tie in really well. But I have Blackberry Bliss coming, so, but there's so many varieties of purple in that paper, so I think it will be just fine. And then I did also go around the edge of this die cut just to give it a little bit more. I took one of the sponge daubers and put it in that ink, and then I just kind of went around the edge of this die. So just here and there, just to give it a little bit more character. Okay. And then I'm going to attach that with just the Stampin' Seal, and then I will put one die or one dimensional on the end, because I want it to lay flat against that part. So we'll put that there, and then we will just add a little bit of Stampin' Seal here on the end, if I could get it to stay for me. So I don't want it to be all the way across. So, missing you. Oh, better take that. Got to take the backing off that dimensional or it won't stick. So just like that. And then for the inside, I am going to use the Berry Burst color, and I'm going to use that cute little flower, the little tiny flower, and I'm going to stamp on the inside for that. Such a pretty color. And like I said, I'm leaving the inside blank so that I can write a letter to the recipient. And there we go. Kind of the most time-consuming part of this is while cutting the dies out, but really that went pretty fast. A little bit. What takes a little bit longer is attaching the DSP to the flap. Now I'm going to go ahead and on this one you can do it either way. For this one I actually did glue it down. The multi-purpose glue comes with the side where you can do it in a line, but then it also comes with a side that will evenly spread out the ink or the glue. So you just kind of put it down there and then spread it out. It's kind of hard to see that I just did that, but see, yeah, there the light's catching it. See how it does it in a flat pattern? So I'll go ahead and do that again just to show you. But I just kind of went along the edge, and I can see it in the light, but you may not be able to see it in yours and on the camera. But I just kind of went around all the edges, as I wanted a really good adhesive stick for it. And then a little bit down the middle, and then just kind of flatten it all out. And then just take your paper and line it up with that edge. Flatten it. You could even take your brayer, if you have a brayer, go take your brayer over it to really get that whole edge. And then you just take your scissors and go around the edge of the envelope. So then you have a matching envelope for your card with that beautiful DSP. This DSP, I think all of them would make a beautiful envelope cover. I'd really like to use this DSP on like a junk journal page. I think that would be really, really pretty. And so there we go. Really, really simple card. I feel like I said I just used up scraps, and I did add a couple of little embellishments on there. Don't have to take just to bring a little bit of bling to it. I put them in the center of the flowers. I think that's a good color because that kind of pops out a little bit. So there we go. We have the two cards from, and really fast cards. So if you just want a little, just cards to have a little bit of extra, I mean, you could leave the white blank without the embossing. I think the embossing just adds a little bit of a pop to it. So thank you for sticking with me for night 4. Come back tomorrow night for I've got a treat box in the works, so come back tomorrow for I'll post pictures of the treat box, and then tomorrow night I'll post how I made it. So thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you Friday. Good night.